Hello people, how you doing? Welcome to the video. My name is Bradleywalkr, I'm a personal trainer and online coach if you don't already know that. And today is going to be a full day of eating. So right now I'm currently trying to get a little bit leaner just as I'm abroad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I basically eat to one, stay lean, but two, get a wee bit leaner as well. Now I'm not doing any crazy diet, I'm not trying to eat really low or whatever like that. I'm trying to eat a nice balanced diet. More of a day-to-day sort of thing. Again, as I say, I'm not focusing on getting super lean. I'm just trying to keep my physique nice and tidy while I'm in the sun. And to be honest, I like to keep myself pretty much lean year round if possible. That being said though, I don't always just think about get leaner, get leaner, get leaner. It's more about just living a better sort of lifestyle slash diet. And as I'm living a nice and balanced diet, I want to show you how I'm going to fit these big motherfucking cakes into my diet and still get lean. It's very doable. Dieting is not all about, I don't even want to call it dieting, it's more just my lifestyle sort of diet. My eating habits, they don't need to be super strict just to kind of get in shape. You can have a lot of flexibility and fun with your diet if you are making smart choices through the day. As I say, it's very simple to do, so let me show you how it's done. Anyway, cue intro. So, how I'm going to start my day off, I'll tell a lie, it's actually already 11 o'clock in the day over here in Crete, and I've been doing some work in the morning, I've been doing some stuff for my feet, but anyway, it doesn't matter, you can see that later on. How I'm going to start my day off with my eating is actually going to be fasting. Now if you don't know what fasting is, it's basically holding off on your first meal, allowing yourself to have more calories later in the night. Fasting doesn't do any special for losing weight, it doesn't make you burn fat quicker or whatever, all it does is to give you more space for eating at night. And why I like to do fasting is because I started it when I started dieting a long time ago and I just really liked how it made me feel. Basically when I fast in the morning I feel as if I've got a wee bit more kind of mental clarity, a little bit more energy, and then when I eat I kind of tend to get a wee bit more sluggish, so I like to kind of hold off on my first meal, not as long as possible, but to at least let's say maybe say one in a day or something like that, just because that's how I kind of like to do it. So while I'm fasting I will drink a black coffee, but I'll actually drink 2 black coffees throughout the morning, and as well as that I'm going to kind of work on drinking a ton of water. And then once I start eating I'll show you what I'm going to eat. I'm not going to show you what a black coffee is because I'm pretty sure you know how it looks, but anyway I'll come and touch on you with my first meal and tell you why I'm having it, what I'm having, etc, etc. Hello troops, what's happening? So first meal of the day is going down. It's currently about 1 o'clock I believe. Yep, 1 o'clock, 20 past 1 actually. So the first meal is going to be an omelette. Now usually I have bacon in this omelette but I don't have any in. So what I've got in this omelette is 4 eggs, in fact I'll show you right now. So what's in this omelette is 4 eggs and then 100 grams of egg whites. Now the reason I've added the egg whites is just basically to bring the protein up. Eggs do have protein in them of course, but because the eggs have the yolk in them, the fat content in them is higher. The fat in the eggs is not bad, but the protein to fat ratio would be quite bad if I made an omelette of 6 eggs, for example. It would be mostly fat with very little protein. So basically eliminating some yolks basically brings the protein up, but keeps the fat relatively low. Also, I've put salt and pepper onto this. Now, this is something I don't know too much about, so don't quote me on this. But basically, as we're drinking lots of water over here, more than usual, and we're sweating a lot, you're basically obviously losing water through sweat. But through that as well, you also lose some of the kind of minerals within your sweat and some of the salt within your sweat. So salt makes sweat taste salty. So basically, I'm putting more salt into my diet because I'm sweating it out. And that'll basically help with training because you'll be able to contract your muscle better. And it's also important for other things, but again I don't know too much about that, so I'm not going to go and try and explain it. So hopefully you can see me here. So literally just about to eat this omelette first of all, and then I'm going to have a wee something after it, but I'll get into it. So let's just go taste test. How do you like your yolks, runny or hard? Leave a comment down below. That's fucking hot, but it's good. Anyway, I'm going to eat this, I'll show you what I'm eating next. So just after breakfast I'm going to have a banana. I just broke the top half it there trying to open it, break it half the bunch, but wee banana up next, get 1 to 5 a day and early into it. So following the banana I'm now going to have a shake, just 1 scoop of protein powder. It's just basically pure whey. I think it's 100 and something calories, 20 odd grams of protein, and this is not quite my pre-gym workout. I'm going to have something else just before I go up to the gym as well, but I'm also going to pair it with another cake with a wonderful host dropped us off. I'll take this out to Laura Marie as well. I've not drank the shake yet, but this is a cake that our little host made us. I don't even know what it is, but we're just going to go for it anyway. You'll have to guess the calories, Laura Marie, how much think's in this?
Maybe about 500.
I think it's 4 or 500 as well, so let's try it.
What's it like?
It doesn't really have much of a taste, it's more kind of like spongy cake.
Pastry?
Aye, but like...
Is it creamy?
It's quite juicy, but...
Is it worth eating?
I don't know, maybe I might like it, might not. It's alright, but again we're going to count this as say, let's say 500 calories we're going to count this as. So I must be honest, that cake there was not as good as the last one, let's just say. It's definitely subpar. But no, it's been it now, and I'm going to count that as roughly 500 calories, right? So I can't guess, I can't say exactly how many calories are in that, but one thing I can do is I can kind of roughly ballpark it. And what I do, because I'm in a deficit, or I'm kind of running a slight deficit, is I'll always overestimate it. Just so if I do, like, if I overestimate it, the worst thing that can happen is I can be slightly under my calories that day and I can deal with being slightly under. But if I underestimate it, I might be well over and that could throw me off. So I always just kind of overestimate. So I'm going to call that roughly about 500 calories. It was quite, imagine like a croissant filled with like cake inside, but it was quite soft, if that makes sense. Like it wasn't quite like it wasn't like crispy or anything like that. It was quite like, I wouldn't say gooey, but it was definitely like kind of a wetter cake, if that makes sense. It was okay, but wasn't amazing. Definitely not worth the calories, so that's another thing as well. Just think to yourself, is this food going to be worth the calories? Yes or no? It's always good to make wee decisions like that. Is it worth the calories, is it not? If I knew what that tasted like, I would say no, it was definitely not worth the calories, but again, our host made us it, so I was going to try it anyway. So now I'm just going to finish this protein shake and finish up some work. Update troops, so it's probably about 10-15 minutes after eating that cake, and the only thing is, I kind of feel quite horrible after eating it. I can feel my skin getting kind of oily and just, it doesn't feel too nice. So that's another thing to consider when you're picking your food choices. Try and think past the taste and eating it in that moment. Think about how you feel after it as well. Now, of course, I would recommend you go and enjoy treats and stuff like that, right? But when I eat more whole foods or better quality foods like that banana or the grapes or whatever, I do usually feel better. That being said, I've not had the grapes yet, but that was just an example, so sitting there beside me. So I try and think about how you feel after you eat the foods as well. But work for the day is finished, and now I'm just going to have a kind of pre-workout meal. The wonderful Laura Marie is making me chicken and rice. So that's the next meal that's going to go down. I'll show you that just before I have it. And here we have the infamous chicken and rice made by the wonderful Laura Marie. So it's just 200 grams of chicken breast, a pepper, and a packet of Uncle Ben's rice. It's fine, it's going to be tasty. Just a wee side note for the kind of chicken and rice, so you may notice I don't have any sauce in it. Usually I'll just season it, because that just kind of helps me save some calories on it as well. I will use sauce from time to time, but again, seasoning pretty much adds 0 calories. So there's a wee tip for you. My favourite seasonings would probably be the fajita mix that you get from Old El Paso. You can pick up the sachet itself with Tesco for 20 pence and it's banging. So I've had the chicken and rice, it's been about half an hour, 45 minutes. I'm going to head up the gym. The gym's about probably a 15 to 20 minute walk away, maybe even longer, don't know. But I'm going to head up there just now. Yes, I'm a sicko because I'm wearing the best, training legs. I just said in my last video not to do that, but no, it's fucking roasting, so it's too hard to wear a t-shirt long up there. So I'm going to go train legs. I'm not showing you any because you obviously don't care about my legs. And it's a full day of eating, so I'll show you once I'm back and what I'm going to have. Now 9 o'clock. Am I right in saying that, Larry? Back of 9 o'clock, so I don't even know what time I left at. I think it was 6. Long story short, it didn't take me that long to train, right? Basically, the walk up is probably about half an hour-ish. The walk back's half an hour, so that's probably about, obviously an hour took away. I was probably training for about an hour and 20, maybe 15 minutes. Just by the time I kind of warm up, do all my exercises, etc, etc. And it was a good session. So, I've not eaten since I came back, so I had to jump to the supermarket, and right now Laura Marie is making fajitas. So I'll show you what they look like when they are ready. And here we go, 200 grams of chicken breast, roughly about 1 pepper in there per person. So I'm going to have 3 tortillas, and that's going to be lovely. I'm a freak, so I don't like fucking salsa or like, I don't know, mayonnaise or any shit like that, so I pretty much just that in a wrap. But aye, gotta go eat this, I'm sure it's gonna be fantastic. So, straight after dinner, this is a wee fucking life hack for you, I guess, right? See if you're ever craving something sweet after dinner, fruit will curb that sweet craving, right? Now, that being said, I am going to have another little thing after this, right? But I'm going to have 150 grams of grapes just straight after it because 5 a day, you know, trying to be healthy and all that shit. So this is my second last thing of the night. Again, 150 grams of grapes, I think it's about 90 calories, and they're awesome. So these grapes also are pretty decent because all the fruit here is very fresh and it's, I don't know, all seems to be kind of grown locally because it's, I don't know, it's just so good. I don't know, but anyway, banging. Pass on now.
No.
So,
Give me 5 minutes.
I hope you know that's rolling and they're all going to hear you. Hello again.
Hi.
So, last little thing in the night, right? So, basically, we've been trying to find some decent snacks to have because we're quite far for the shop, and basically what keeps happening is we'll get our food and then tan it dead quickly, so we're trying to find some good snacks to make it last. So I went for these, right? So I'm assuming these are like pink waffles. Now, I don't know if you've tried pink waffles back home, but they're fucking banging. So right now I'm trying to work out how many of these I can have. Now it's hard to read because, well, obviously it's in Greek and they have a completely different alphabet for us. That being said though, I have 110 calories to have, and these are, oh, right there, I need to work out that maths. Right, so I've worked out the calories for these, and to make them pretty much spot on calories, I'm only out by 3, where is it? That's how many I'm going to have. Okay, so that brings my calories for the day 2,700, so basically my calories actually are 2,697. Now I'm not going to sweat the 3 calories. Again, if I went over by about 50, I wouldn't sweat it. You can use your calorie marker as just a rough ballpark figure because first of all the calories on food can be up to 20% off, so there you go. And then like calorie calculators and working out your calories, again it's no an exact number but use it as a rough ballpark figure. So at the end of the day my protein is at 187 grams, my carbohydrates are at 263, and that's again without kind of really trying them. My fibre today was only 13 grams, which is pretty low. Usually I like to aim for about 20 plus. The fat for the day is up at 100 grams. Now, the reason for that is because we've been using oil to cook. And as well as that, what else do we have that's high fat actually? Oh, I had extra eggs this morning as well because, again, my usual breakfast shit wasn't there. So 100 grams of fat was probably why my carbs are a bit lower, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to sweat it, right? That's kind of main things I'm going to look at. It does cover saturated fat, etc, etc, but I'm going to go into that. Anyway, that's this full day of eating done. It's 10 o'clock. Can you hear the planes again?
Yeah.
That's full day of eating done. It's 10 o'clock. Also, FYI, since we've been, well, the day in Crete, there's been all sorts of fire jets flying out, and there was also a big massive warship off the side of Crete. Now, we don't know why that is. We're assuming the fires, but aye, interesting stuff. Been quite cool to see. Hopefully nothing happens here. Pray for us and pray for Athens. Oh yes, and if you haven't already, please like, share and subscribe. Bye.